Hiya, YouTubers! Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry VTT from the ground up. And in our last episode, I don't remember where this is. Oh yeah, okay, this is good. In our last episode, we were talking about, the lighting, and, I can't remember now. It was too long ago. But in this episode, we're going to talk about updating, and then we're going to prepare an environment for a player so that I can record the next player episode, which will probably air next week. So I loaded up Foundry, and it looks like there is an update software. As you can see here, we're running a V9 testing build 1. We're in the testing branch. If we click on this little down arrow here, you can see that there's the prototype branch, which you can see is red, very dangerous. You probably shouldn't do any games on this. This is just purely seeing if concepts of ideas work. Then we have the API, which is the developer community, basically. You'll get these branches of things that are still not going to be very stable, but it's asking other developers to look at it, give their input, maybe give ideas to fix it and stuff. Then we have the testing, and this is where it's actually output to the general community, us. And in this one, it's still not what you should be doing campaigns in. If you have a one shot or something simple, might be good. And then stable, that's its release form. That's its final form. So right now we're in testing branch, and they've released testing V9 testing 2. So we're going to go ahead and tell this to check for updates, and it will say there is one. You can read the notes if you like. I could scroll through them slower. Actually, no, I'm not going to worry about that. You'll see it on yours. So I'm going to begin download. So I know on this VM, I'm not logged in as admin, so I actually have to launch Foundry as an administrator. Now, one thing I did want to say also with the ones where you update inside the console itself or inside the interface, they don't seem to wipe out other folders. In fact, they don't even wipe out the folder they're in. It seems like when they're doing an update, they're simply maybe replacing files that have changed. Whereas if you do the installer, it will actually go delete both. In our case, we have the retail and we also have the beta. It will actually delete all of them and then install the second one. So now that we're logged in as administrator, we should be able to check for updates, begin download, and it will go ahead and do the download and install. I'm probably going to stop the video here and continue once it's done because it'll take a few minutes. So I will see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. It finished installing and it actually relaunched. I don't know if that's new or if sometimes it does that, other times it doesn't. Maybe it's just when we do the configuration one, it doesn't, when we make any updates in here and then we hit save, it doesn't actually relaunch, but the update did. So first thing you always want to do every time you launch Foundry VTT, make sure everything is updated. I've mentioned this before. If there are specific modules, that you're not sure you want updated, you can always click on the little lock file here, or the lock, and it will make it so that will not be included in the updates. So if something's working really good, but they've released it a version for the next version. So if this was 8 and they released one that says it's good for 9, you might not want to do that. But as a general rule, you kind of want to make sure you get not install modules. We want to actually, I want to check something. Couldn't load. I don't know why. All right, so let's go ahead and just update our files. And this will take just a few seconds because we don't have that many. There you go. It looks like D&D Beyond Importer had some updates to it. And let's go ahead and make sure our game system's all up to date. Looks like it's current. We're good to go. So let's launch our world. And part of this is going to might be kind of a redo of something we've already done. The reason I'm saying it might be a redo is because when I clicked on Game Master to launch it, there isn't one for Derby Fam or Derby Kid. I'm not sure. Did I do that when we were in the 8 version or 9? I'm not sure. So some of this might be kind of a little step back, or a, let's call it a refresher. So here we have our scene that we've been playing with. Obviously it's nothing except for just a simple background with nothing on it, and then you can see we have our character here, and we're going to go ahead and delete that character, and now we can see everything. So first thing we're going to want to do is make it so we have a slot for our new player. So we come here to user management. We're going to just add my daughter, as I usually do. So create an additional player. We'll call it TERBY. Derby Fam. That did not type. Don't know why. TERBY FM. So there's Derby Fam. I'm not going to put in a password, and she's just going to be a player, just so you can get an idea. And what we'll do in the next episode, which will be the player one, we'll actually connect and talk about the different options a player has when they connect and have an actual scene and everything available to them. So we're going to hit save or return. Now if we click here, we can see we have Game Master and Derby Fam. If I'm logged in as Game Master, that will not be an available option. So you can't log in the same user twice. So we're going to go ahead, Game Master, join our game again. So now that we have that taken care of, let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of this scene that we're in. Not create yet. We are going to click on you. Sorry, I forgot. Right click on you and do delete. So we're just going to get rid of this scene, and we're going to create a new one. Now I've actually copied various assets up to this system, my VM, so that we can actually see these things. So we're going to create a new scene. We're just going to call this, I think I called it Elf Song Tavern before. Elf Song, T-A-V-R-N. Elf Song Inn, Elf Song, I don't know. So here we go. Here's our thing here. So we've talked about all these different things in creating scenes, so we're just going to fly through it. For our players, we don't want them to know what the name of this tavern is, or maybe we do, I don't know. We're going to pretend we don't for whatever reason. Let's see, we're going to use a simple one. So if we go to assets here, maps. Oh, I don't remember which one it is. Let me go see if I have right here. Foundry 2 data, assets, maps. I just want this simple one right here called Tavern. So we'll go ahead and just do Tavern and go ahead and select the file. And right here, like I said, I like to save the changes here. Just so I can get the actual image out on the table and see, you know, how big everything is. So here we can see, this isn't the best example because these aren't actual squares. They're square-ish, but they're not actually lined up very well. But I think if I cut these in half, I think we'll be actually pretty good, because that will, yeah, I think that we'll just do that. It's not going to be perfect, but then again, we don't that's not what our goal is right now. So let's go ahead and click on Elf Song Tavern, go to grid, go to this guy right here, and let's cut it by 50, or down to 50. By the way, that's as low as you seem to be able to go. If I tried 25, it would come back saying that, oh, actually that's pretty good. Usually, maybe it's just the other one, says you can't do that. But that's actually pretty good, because it might give us better lining up of all this stuff, I think. Let's do that. I like that. Oh, there we go. See, it has to be 50. I knew it. So let's go ahead. We'll just change it here. I was going to say, wow, that let me do it. If we click on something else, save. I guess 50 is what it was showing, so that's perfect. So we're going to throw up some really quick walls here. Maybe throw in some torches, just some basic things to give our scene some life. So let's go ahead, go into our wall tool, make sure that we do not have snap to grid on, which is that on? Yeah, snap to grid. So it still will snap to the microgrid, but that's okay. So we kind of want to just draw a line here, to about there. Hold down Control. Be nice if there was a spot it could go right there. Right click there. So I like to usually just go draw in one type of wall first. So let's just kind of do this. Looks like we're going to have a corner. So let's go ahead and do this to roughly about there. Hold down Control. Let off Control. Go to there. There we go. You know, actually, I was just thinking, I'm going to do one more wall. We're not going to worry about this back end, but I will have that done once we do our other episode, when we do our player one. All right, so here we go. That's enough of our walls for now. So let's go ahead and throw in a couple windows. So like right here, have a window. Oops, I'm not holding it right. I need to hold Control, unclick that. There we go. So there's one window right there. And let's do a window right here. And I'm not going to worry about that. We'll go ahead and throw in a window right here. Or two, apparently. And, oops. Oh, why is my mouse being weird? Let's just go to select so it doesn't automatically draw a new one. There we go. So there's that. And then we're just going to stick a standard door. We already talked about secret doors and all that stuff, but this is just going to be a standard one, like so. And then we're going to add just a couple torches. Like I said, I'm going to go do different things later on, but I just want to give you the basic idea. So we're going to have maybe, let's figure out what this guy is. So torch on the wall, let's give dim to 30 and maybe bright to 20. Sounds good. Give it a nice kind of yellowish hue to it. Kind of looks torchy like, I guess. Do that. Now we can see nice yellow to it there. Let's go ahead and dim the intensity. And I think that's pretty good. I guess we could have it flicker. Go ahead and have it torch. Boy, now you can't even see the... Let's go ahead and increase the intensity since we did that. There we go. Perfect. And update the light source. So we're just going to put some basic things in here. I'm going to hold down shift so we can place this exactly on that little sconce right there. And let's put up on the stand up here some bard music, playing some bard music or something. We have some in here. Let's go ahead and grab audio, music, probably bard music. I don't remember which one this is. Go ahead and do that so we have some nice bard music. And then let's throw in just a general other sound of tavern sounds. So I'm going to go ahead, place right here, one that encompasses the whole building. And this is just going to be tavern sounds. So if I go back to FX, I have some tavern ambiance. There we go. And there's that. So now we have, did that do that? Oh, I didn't hit update, did I? Dang it. Silly me. I'm going to maybe right there. Let's try this once more. Tavern ambiance, select file, and create. There we go. So now we kind of have some sounds and stuff. We have at least one light for our thing. If we want to have a bookmark, you know, a journal entry that says, let's go ahead and just create a generic one, call it the ELFSONGTAVERN. So here we have the Elf Song Tavern. We can actually come in here and say, this is the Elf Song TAVERN. At night, you can sometimes hear, I can't spell, what is it? You can hear ghostly songs of an elf, I think is what it is. THOSTL, ghostly, SONG, songs of an elf that was murdered here. Something like that. So, and then of course, I've mentioned all this before. It's going to be kind of some going back, but we can have an image here of it. If we have one, switch back, we can show our players this stuff, and we'll talk about that later. So let's go ahead and hit save entry, and then if we like, did that save? Oh yeah, it did, I think. Let's just double check. Yes, it did. All right, so and then if we like, we can actually drag this onto our world here. So I don't think I hit save. So go ahead and drag that. I'm just going to put it down here in this corner. We can add notes to it. We can change the icon or whatever else. We're going to just say update. Now the players will not see this, but we can. And we can actually set it so we don't see it, or if we come into our bookmark here and say show all pins, now if we're in this mode we can still see it. So you do have the option, we can delete all pins on the map. But what we can do then is when they enter this scene, we can just click on the little book here and it will give us our information for our scene. So now that we have that set up, let's go ahead and just grab some actors, some maybe commoners or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder in here. We're going to call this mobs. I might have it separated to NPCs, mobs, maybe passive creatures or something like that. But we're going to go ahead in here and then we're going to go to our compendium. We're going to go grab, is this the, oh, this is the wrong one. We need to just go grab, do I not have, I do not have any of the mobs imported yet. So let's just do the SRD monsters. That'll work. So here we have some monsters. Let's go back here to our actors tab. Let's see if there's any commoners. Commoner, perfect. So he's gonna be, I'm just gonna put him in mobs. Like so, hit close. How about a, well, we saw the acolyte right here. Might as well grab him. So we just want to grab various things. Now they don't all have, I mean, we can actually represent lots of different things, a barkeep and all that stuff with our commoner or acolyte or something like that. It's just going to keep their stats. So let's go ahead and add another one. What should we look up? Maybe a thug? Is there a thug? There's a thug. All right, so we have, you know, a thug. What else would be maybe a spy? I think there's a spy in here as well. Yep, there he is right there. Oops, I hit F12. So, you know, just to get some different kinds of characters. Oops, go ahead and put that up there. And delete him. My mouse wants to keep dropping things. So now we have that. So now what we also want to do is make it so when our player gets on, they can have a character. So let's go ahead and do a couple tweaks here. So a really good thing to note is when you have the character here, any changes I make to this as far as token goes or something like that with the prototype token, it only affects this, and anytime I drag it off it will affect it. And let me just show you what I mean there. So if we take Tasman's character here, oh my gosh, why does it keep dropping it? Move it over here. So if I change, for example, this name now, what icon's on that? Flying. I can't see that obviously. Let's turn off flying real quick. All right, so if I click on Tasman's character over here, and if I change it, for example, this isn't going to affect the actual token in any shape or form, but let's call this Brindy. Oh my gosh, my caps lock's down. B-R-I-N-D-I. Brindi. So if I hit save on this, or I close it because I've changed it, you'll see it does change it here. But if I double click on the token, it's opening the same character sheet. However, if I right click on the token and go to the prototype info, you still see here it's called Tasman's character. If I click on this one and go to prototype token, it's Tasman's character. So now if I go and change this and say Brindy, B-R-I-N-D-I-E, like so, and hit update token, you'll see now if I click on this, click on prototype token, we now have Brindy, right? If I go to this one and double click it, we have Brindy. If I click on token, it still says Tasman's character. So when I drag this out, it's actually creating a copy of whatever's here. Now this is really good for things like commoners where there's going to be lots of different ones. But this is a thing to keep in mind. The other thing that is different here is, let's say for example I go set more of these prototype token things, and if I go into, actually no, that doesn't matter. If I go into here, for example, and make it so the name is only displayed to the owner or anyone when you hover over the token, right? And then maybe also make it so the health is always shown to everyone. So we can say always for everyone. Hit OK on those, and now you'll see that it's not doing anything. But if I delete this token and I drag it back out, you'll see now it's working exactly like we told it to. So this works the same with our image. There's actually two images. There's the token image. Well, this is technically your portrait, but usually people just use it as a standard image. Let's go look and see an image real quick for this thing. Let's go to tokens. By the way, I've mentioned this before, but there's a site out there called Forgotten Adventures that sells lots of map packs and or tokens and all kinds of map assets. Everything you see in these directories right here is completely free. They have all of them for download. You can just download them. So you have beasts, you have commoners, which is going to be good for our commoners. We have fiends, we have humanoids, we have monstrosities, and we have undead. So you can get all these map packs and just have lots of nice tokens. So we're going to go maybe with a humanoid. My daughter loves mermaids, so maybe I'll do a mermaid, a merfolk person. So I'm going to go ahead, double click that. Oh, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I want to just look at the number on this. So it's 29071. So if I go here, go out, go to tokens, go to humanoid, and humanoid there, and I've already forgotten it. Merfolk is that one right there, 29071. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to copy this onto my clipboard and select file. So now she has that, And if we go to prototype token and go to appearance, we can also put it here, or we can go find it if we want a different one, because we have a more of a portrait picture for the other, but I'm going to keep it that. And then if I update token, you'll notice once again it changed here, not here. However, if I double click on this guy, it's still linking to the same one. So hopefully, if anything I've got across so far, it's that this token and this token can be different. So we're going to go ahead and bring Brindy out here now, and now we have our perfect token. We're going to go and grab just maybe, I don't know, we'll put a commoner right here behind the bar. Hold shift, click on them, hold shift and turn them. There we go. I wonder if I changed her. You'll also notice, I don't know if you can hear it, but you can kind of hear the sound of clinking glasses and stuff like that. So that was our ambient sound that we had. Now we can always turn any of these off just by right clicking. We can instantly turn it off. We can set it so that, you know, depending on what the brightness level of the scene is, so, you know, maybe it only gets busy at night, so we would set like 0.5, and then halfway between a transition it will start doing that. We can do the same thing, we've talked about it before with the lights. We can do the same thing. So we're just gonna stick, you know, maybe a spy right here, and if I want to get him more finite where he's sitting, you can hear a bard there. So we can put him on this chair by holding shift. We can actually get him exact where we want him. Maybe put a thug here. These two are just kind of being hooligans. We can, and I'm not going to have very many, just so we can give you an example. So we'll have an acolyte right here, holding down shift once again, so that it'll ignore the grid, so that they can actually be sitting somewhere proper. And maybe a commoner's with him. Oops, that's the acolyte again. Commoner is up here with him, and hold shift. So there we go. Now with these tokens there's some other options, like for example maybe the commoner is not necessarily a friend with these people, so we can come in here and say he's neutral, as you can see here. The acolyte on the other hand, he's going to show up as hostile, and we're going to change him to friendly. Maybe he's friends with our people. And these two, I wonder if I could do both at once. I don't think I can. These two are hostile. So if I mouse over, you'll notice this is kind of yellow. That means that they are neutral. Blue means they're friendly. Red means that they're hostile. Now, if you don't want your players to actually know that they're hostile, you can go set them to neutral or something like that. But once again, what you change in here is not what they see. Now, some other things you might want to verify, like our acolyte here, you'll notice that he does not have a health bar. So these are some other things. You might want to set it up as the master, since they're going to be usually neutral or good. You can do that here, and then any acolyte we take out, for example, we go look at this one, go to token, we can see that he's friendly, and hovered by owner is the name, right? So you can see he's friendly by. If we do it to this guy in here, whoops, wrong thing, go to prototype token, and you'll notice he's still hostile, but you might want to make it so your mobs don't get to see any health. So we could make it so only the owner gets to see it, which means only I, as the owner of the token, gets to see it. So I could say always for owner, and then if I update that, once again, I'm not going to change the one out here. Right now he's still hover, which is, I usually like it to be hover for the name, but I can always see their actual health. That way I can kind of keep track of it. So we go in here, we can see always for owner. That's perfect. If with, for example, with Brindy here, we want all her teammates to be able to see her health. So that's why here we have always for everyone. And that means everyone is able to see her health in her party, or basically anyone in the game. Hold on just a second. So there's that. Now you can also see that lighting is already happening. Because we actually had our token inside here, you can see that they're actually able to still see in there. We can actually fix that by going to the light and resetting the fog of war. And now if we click on them, they don't know what's going on inside there other than this window where they can see just slightly. So as far as I know, I think this covers basically getting a scene set up and the stuff you would need to have a scene set up for your player. So the next episode, we will probably be a player one, like I said. Will be Derby Fam connecting to Brindy, and we'll kind of show you the different things that we'll be doing in there. So I think that does it for this episode. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Have them check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We can grow the channel. Be awesome. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.